Hi, I'm Sean, and you're watching Shopworx. Today we're doing something a little different than what we've been doing before. Went down to the Construction Expo 2023 down in Vegas, and did some snooping around down there on some equipment and stuff. I wanted to see if I could meet up with Matt from Diesel Creek there, but apparently he was only there for the one day, and I guess I was there the day after on his section, so didn't happen. Maybe we'll do that again another time. But just kind of going to go through and show you some of the equipment I was interested in. As far as what I could film in there, it wasn't too conducive. Everybody was wandering around and getting in the shots, and I didn't want to be obstructing too many people either. So footage is what I have there. So. One thing I was kind of worried about down there was the volcano the Mirage is leaving. So I don't know if it's gone as of yet, but I heard right after the Con Expo they were taking it out, so I made sure to get some video of that. And the kids took in the sights there too, so that was kind of cool. Be able to show them, you know, I'm going to call it, for at least me anyway, the old Vegas. You asked John what the old Vegas was like, and it's totally different than my end of things there, so is what it is. We got a few clips and pieces of that in the fountains and whatnot. While we're down there, decided to head down to the dam and try to take the dam tour with the dam guides and all that other stuff. Problem with that was the elevator is broken. Stood around for 3 hours in a line to take a partial tour just down to the generating facility, and that was about it. Water levels dropped again, seemed like about, you know, not sure exactly on the number. If I had to guess, I'd say about 20 feet from last time I was there. But is what it is. They had water in there once. I'm sure it'll happen again eventually. But one of the things I found cool, I don't know how much of the stuff I have to edit out on there because of the music playing. I'm sure it's all copyrighted music too down at the Connex there. But one of the things I found pretty cool was they had artificial intelligence skid steer there with all sensors on it, and it was cruising around doing its thing, dumping the bucket and avoiding obstacles, which was kind of neat to see. It wasn't quite what I was there for, but cool nonetheless. Something that really piques my interest, I don't know how many of you guys running skid steers there and screw piles, but haven't been yet. I've had the wish that I could, I guess. I don't know how you want to say it, but you know, there's been opportunities I could have used one, as long as I can get the torque specs met with it. And I found a nice little setup there for skid steer. Telescopes up and down, and sort of have a quick peek at it yourself here. Nice pressure digger on here, 36 inch, 25 feet down. Be handy for some of my work. All telescoping, great for low clearances up on top, tight spaces.
I'll send you some information.
Very, very interested in this. Perfect for my mountaintop sites. And of course, kind of been looking towards a new hoe for work there. Haven't decided on what I want to go for yet, or if funding's even going to be there this year. But we'll have to see what we're going to come up with there. That little 337's just a little too small for a lot of things. Been running into a lot of more spots there where I need the extra height, extra reach. Not so much the extra depth, but you know, a little wider bucket. Move a little more at a time would be nice. So I've been checking out different excavators while I was down here, trying to find something. First booth I went across there was the Komatsu booth. So I wanted to check out their lineup. They got an 88 and a 135, and I was kind of looking for something in the middle of that. I've been kind of looking at the Takeuchi, either the 290, which is still a little on the small end, or the 2150, but with what I've got for a trailer there, that's going to be probably marginal for me to haul it. So check that out. Me and John crawled around on them for a bit, and not too shabby. Sort of fits into our next lineup here. What? Headrest comes up. I'm sure it does. Nice little sized unit. Backup camera.
You should get a little more information on this thing.
Yeah, I think so. I like this unit. Looks like Komatsu's done their homework on this one.
Sorry? They're still considering it.
It's an 88 MR, and seems pretty user friendly. Cab feels pretty nice for what it is. Headrest should go up a little higher, but as far as everything here, it's fairly serviceable. Access to your pumps in the back. Fuel filters.
Oh, I think I've shut off for it.
Yeah, I noticed that for a lot of things in here. Oil fill. It's all laid out pretty decent. Still tight to work on, I'm sure, anything in there, but the thing I like, backup camera right on the back here.
Very serviceable anyway.
Yeah. All right, we should have this as a contender. Interesting. Want to see Taki's booth here still too, and check it out. This is the DC88 MR11.
Oh, I see it. What did it say?
Well, after crawling around with Komatsu there, I ended up over at the Takeuchi booth and checked out the skid steer. Pretty much same thing I've got. Then ended up crawling into the hoe there. They had the 2150 right on site, which was cool. I really wanted to see the 290, but they didn't have it. They had some other smaller units there. Seems like what I'm looking for is not really in a popular size for a lot of people. Either they're in the small end or the big end, and I really don't have a whole lot of use for either of those. Well, maybe the small end I can get something small, but for what I'm doing for work there, it's not too practical to go big and then try to do the logistics, getting it hauled and all that stuff. So, like the 2150, it was definitely a solid contender there. I kind of like it. John likes it. We crawled around in and out and all that other good stuff. But trying to keep an open mind with it as well, like we did with the Takeuchi. And you know, went around and tried Bobcat, checked out a case, checked out, you know, all the other ones there, Cat, Kubota, etc., etc. And trying to do the same thing with the hoe. Didn't want to be totally set on the Taki, so we checked out the Sany booth as well. Well, here we are at the Takeuchi booth, and looking at some of the cool stuff they got. We got one up there with the oil cooler right on top, right from the get-go. We got a mulcher head on the front. Well, this here's what I really wanted to climb into. The dealer back home never seems to have one in stock, so it's the 2150, the granddaddy. Believe it or not, with rubber tracks. Definitely gonna have to park my butt in that seat. Well, it's somewhat roomy, I guess. Display.
One more room than the other.
Side and back. Interesting. 24-volt cigarette lighter. Well, what do you think?
Well, first of all, visibility is excellent. I like it way better than Komatsu. The switches are all nicely laid out. Room for more. The only thing I find bad about it is the 24-volt system, but that's the way it goes. Visibility is terrific. I believe it's got 3 different cameras.
Well, too bad it's they didn't have a 290 here too.
Controls are a nice spot.
I don't know. Have to do some figuring out whether a guy can haul her behind the gravel truck.
Got to figure out where to put the radios in it.
GL 2150. While we were wandering around out there, it kind of went through and checked out some of the other booths there. You know, there's a lot of construction equipment, a lot of big stuff that way beyond me, all the cranes and stuff like that. I had, I'm not going to say no interest in, but no practical interest in. So, ended up checking out a lot of the smaller booths there. There's a guy there had a Metal Master type equipment there I'm going to be checking out in the near future. I'd like to get one for the shop. It bends the plate and notches tube and shears and all kinds of stuff there. And it'd be very, very advantageous for me to have here for what I'm doing. I think it'll even do 1/2 and 3/4 plate depending on which machine. These are pretty cool. I'd love to find a home in the shop for that. That one will do 1-inch plate by 12-inch wide for shearing, 6x6 by 1/2-inch angle. Real big time saver. And the smaller model here. Give you 3 different dies, different hole punches, quick change.
1 inch is the biggest for that picket tool, down to like.
So, as we toured around down there, ran into the Ditchwitch dealer, which was pretty cool. I was really hoping to see him and check out some other options and stuff. Going to be looking at some other jobs in the near future there. We do a fair bit of trenching as it is right now. Looking something a little bigger. Not necessarily in a trencher, but I've got a chance where next year they're maybe doing, I can't remember, it's 14 or 17 miles of bearing some high voltage. And that's basically, I don't know if you want to call it up a mountainside or down a mountainside, but it's on a mountainside. So we're looking at a rock saw. on a track trencher. So this one here is kind of the carrier system for it. So I can get it with the rock saw, be able to go down, I think it's somewhere between 4 and 5 feet with it, which should meet what I need to do. Go down 4 to 5 feet and change the rock saw with the trencher attachment. It's got the wire spooler or pipe layer, depending what you want to be using it for there on the front, and basically whatever other attachments you want to add to it. It's a modular system, very interchangeable. Cab, that one's open air, but I'd go for the cab, and it was very friendly. Seat swivels right just about 180, and lots of room, lots of comfort, kind of nice. Definitely going to be checking that out here. I got a bid in on doing that. I'm definitely going to be jumping for that thing if we can get the job. So that's a good little job at about a foot a minute.
Well, the other thing I've been looking at is this RT125 here. We got the job we're looking at. It's got 17 miles of trenching on a mountaintop. It'd be kind of handy with a wheel saw, rock saw on the back. It's got some pretty nice features. I can change the rock saw out after for a boom on the back, go 6 feet. Up to 24-inch wide chain trencher on there if I want, but probably go with the 12. Got Deutz in it. Of course, track drive. Got no use for the plows. See if we end up with that job. There might be one of these in the near future.
So of course, the next small ticket item booth we went across there was I think the Boomer Buddies, and I was looking at some speed binders before, and John called and never got anywhere with them. Nobody answered the phone or whatever the deal was, so never did end up getting them. But these Boomer Buddies I like. They're pretty handy. Put them on any boomer you already have, which really makes things simple up here in Canada. You got to have everything rated, right? So my boomer is still a rated boomer from before. I'm just adding an attachment onto it. The boomer still holds all its locks and loads and everything as it did before. Same weight rating, same everything. So it just tightens it up quicker and sucks her down. Ended up getting a bunch of them. Of course, you know how things are at the show. You gotta wait 4 to 6 weeks or 8 weeks to get them. It's kind of cool seeing some Canadian vendors. Some neat products.
And give her.
Okay, this is the Buddy load binder attachment. Goes on the existing ratchet style load binder. And you let the drill do the work. It's not easy. You can still do it manually if you want. You're not stuck. You don't have a drill handle.
Exactly.
Just like that.
And actually, this is a standard binder. It works on pretty much all the different stuff.
So of course, I ended up running by the Sany booth and checked out their excavators there. They're not bad. Not bad. I like their some of the features on them. Gave them a little bit of criticism with it too on the viewing angle and stuff like that. They seem to get all the hard parts figured out on it and just need a little bit of refinement on it, kind of like going between a Kubota and a Takeuchi, you know. Pretty much very similar machines, just Taki seemed to have refined a lot of the stuff. Didn't feel like you're just sitting in a shoebox and everything, at least at the time when I was checking them out and buying. So hit the Sany booth and checked some of that stuff out, and they had a lot of cool stuff. And ended up top there and got a panorama of some of it.
Out here at Sany's booth checking out some excavators. Eyeing up a 95 that they don't have. Really wanted to climb in it. Got some brochures though. 135 is the next contender, but could be a tad heavy.
And of course, on my way out of the show on the last day, kind of disappointed, swung by the Volvo booth, and Matt wasn't around. Didn't know he was just there for one day, so that was kind of a bummer. I guess some guys from Gold Rush or whatever were there anyway. Didn't really pique my interest. I was there to see Matt, so kept on touring. Of course, on the way out, I ran into a booth there with tilt rotators. And lo and behold, they had a Takeuchi 290, which I actually got some video footage of them stacking blocks with. And kind of liking that unit too. I kind of wish there was something in between the 290 and the 2150. I think that's where I'd sort of be jumping on it. It's all going to depend on the next year or two here on what I end up with for more trucks and trailers. So we'll see how things are going to go and take it from there. Well, like I say, these were my highlights of the show, stuff I was interested in. There's lots and lots and lots more stuff there that I'm sure others were interested in, and you know, kind of my highlights. Didn't want to spend too much time filming. I wanted to get through the show and hang with the family. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this, and if you like the equipment and stuff, you know, it's not my everyday kind of thing going to these shows, so it's up to you, but if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, commenting, let me see what you think of some of that equipment I was looking at down there. And I'd like to hear other people's comments on stuff too. Do you own one? Do you like it? Do you know, kind of hunting around. You know, salesmen can tell you anything you really want to hear, basically. So kind of nice if you hear something firsthand from somebody. If you wouldn't mind leaving a little input there, it'd be kind of cool. I'd like to see it. Have a good one.